Hello, and welcome to the Asylum. I'm your host, Don, and I know I've been gone on sabbatical. As you can see, we're in a new space.
The final frontier.
Yeah,
These
right?
are the voyages of the Star Trek Enterprise.
Yeah, right. I
That's
moved.
how my brain works, folks.
I now live in California, and we have been in the process of unpacking all of our stuff and moving into the house
hipster.
and doing some updates to the house. And thusly, I haven't had a lot of time. And also, I couldn't find my laptop. So now we have the laptop. I'm old school today, no microphone, using the laptop mic, and no special camera, using the laptop camera. So yeah.
And I too am using a camera with a mic on it because my microphone is walked away. And I had two of them on my desk.
Have you asked the children?
They all said they've never seen it before in their lives.
Well, then, obviously, they're telling the truth.
There's no way of denying it. They're clearly honest in that regard.
Obviously. Yeah, so we promised a double feature on our last video because we didn't know how long it was going to be until we made another one. And so we chose two
classic movies.
Two
movies that are in fact movies that are connected to classic sounding names.
Yeah.
With actors in them.
Yeah. I mean, loose definitions sometimes. So those two movies were Journey to the Center of the Earth and Amityville
Haunting.
Yeah, Haunting. That was it. Amityville Haunting.
But you were so excited for it for so long, for years, before we even started this.
It's a fact. I had it on my to-be queue before we started this part of the channel. Like, it was going to be a regular Let's Talk Spook that I was going to do because I had this harebrained idea that I was going to watch every single Amityville movie. And then I realized that that's over 70 movies at this point because the name Amityville is open source. Yeah, it's open. And if you personally, whoever's watching this channel right now, you wanted to go make your own horror movie, you could just tack the name Amityville onto it and nothing would happen to you. Turns out. So there is a bajillion Amityville movies out there, and I realized that would be A, very difficult, and B, probably drive me insane after I watched Amityville Vampire. Thus, that plan fell by the wayside. But I had this on my queue. I was ready for it. And then when we decided we were going to start this channel, or this part of the channel, and Jeremiah told me that there was an Amityville movie that was an Asylum film, my excitement was tangible. You could feel it in the air. And then I watched the movie. So I guess
found footage movie.
Yeah, so I guess we're going to talk about that one first.
That costs more than Paranormal Activity movies.
That is true. Yeah, so it opens up with a group of kids who decide to break into the Amityville Horror House in order to get it on. That is apparently their only goal, is to have sex in a haunted house, which they proceed to do. We get a nice gratuitous boob shot, and then they get horribly murdered off screen. We just know that they get murdered. And then it cuts to a family that is the most original characters I've ever seen in a horror film in my entire life. You have the overly paranoid former military father, Toad's original, the freaking out about literally everything and the husband won't listen to her wife/mother, the daughter who is a teenage rebel who is always on her phone, and the son who is
recording everything,
who's obsessed with movie making and is completely an original character entirely. And then the adorable little girl who talks to a ghost, or what could possibly be a ghost, maybe is a ghost. Again, 100% original characters that I don't remember any of their names because they are just the stereotype that they are. Yeah, so this movie is a found footage film with amazingly good security cameras that can pick up sound like you wouldn't believe and have full color and night vision modes. They're amazing security cameras.
And cops that aren't investigating a house where just mysteriously people will fall down the steps and die. In the house with movers, and the realtor falls down the steps and dies.
No, she had
Random boys die in the woods.
Yeah. So,
Not suspicious at all when a Navy SEAL person lives in the house, and the cops are like, "Don't worry, we know you didn't do it."
Yeah. So, some things they did that immediately off the bat upset me was that in the opening explanation, because we need to be explained what the Amityville house is, they said that the
But it
Lutzes.
sure doesn't look like the house.
They said that the Lutzes were tortured by spirits for 2 years, which anybody who knows anything about the Amityville Horror story knows that it was 28 days specifically called out in all forms of media, all books, everything.
Even the Ryan Reynolds movie.
Even the Ryan Reynolds movie, which went to the Red House or the Red Room. 28 days. But somehow that became 2 years. People just die suddenly with no repercussion. So as Jeremiah said, the realtor has an aneurysm on the front lawn. And then while they're moving in, one of the movers falls down the stairs and breaks his neck. There's no investigation.
Bleeds a lot.
And bleeds a lot. There's no investigation. And then
the cops do show up and say, "Sorry that people keep dying here." Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what house you bought?
Yeah. And then some kid that had 2 seconds earlier on in the movie comes to the house to try to bang the daughter, and the father pulls a gun on him, threatens him, kicks him out of the house, and then he vanishes. And the cops show up.
It's not Dad's fault.
And then the cops show up, find, I believe it was 4 separate puddles of blood around the house. And the dad admits to the police that he pulled a gun on this kid. And they don't arrest him. At all.
Or even come back later.
And then there was the just ridiculously, for some reason. So at the end of the movie, everybody dies, right? The whole
I have to say, the little girl's been seeing his dead kid. Was talking to this kid this whole time. We found out it's a dead kid.
Yeah.
I'm telling her to do things, and she wants to stay there. And so, the most anticlimactic death is at the end.
No. We got to start at the beginning of the deaths here. So the whole family, except for maybe the little girl, I don't know if she actually died, but the whole rest of the family definitely dies. So they decide to start with Rebel daughter, and
who has the most gratuitous death in the.
Insane. She's picked up off the bed, slammed around, contorted into this position that snaps her back and her neck.
And removes organs.
It was over the top. Just insane. And every other death after that was just
off camera.
What? Okay, but hers was just insanely violent. For no reason. I guess it's just because we're supposed to hate the rebel daughter. So they want to make her death just gratuitous. And then the mom somehow gets burned to death.
By a different ghost.
What's that?
By a different ghost.
By a different ghost, yeah. That was like randomly appearing randomly with no explanation. And then the little boy
Tells
dies.
then the boy dies, last, right?
No, the dad died last.
Well, boy sees the ghost, sees the
Mom.
dude, and freaks out and dies. Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't really see him die, but he died.
And then you see the little girl go up to see Daddy, who's laying on the bed because he had just gotten hurt, if I recall, or something like that. And she has a knife, and she's like, basically, night, night, Daddy.
Yeah, that's it.
And he's like, oh. It's like
it's the scene
late
from
Paul Rubens' death in Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Exactly. It's also before that, so they're leaving the house the next day, which is why they all have to die that night. So before,
well, the mom at least is leaving the house the next day with the kids. At the very least, that's happening.
Yeah, because the dad had a hardcore freak out, just screaming and doing push-ups scene right before then. And then they decide they're still going to spend one more night in the house.
Well, and he brought his like hardcore like military friend over, and he just like dies immediately. He's just dead.
And the only people that didn't die,
like was that was the electrical cable, right? The electrical cable just like falls and like fries him.
Yeah, so good. Yeah. So this movie's terrible, and I wanted.
But it is visible. Is at least a visible movie.
And the audio wasn't horrible. It's not like Pod People or the other ones where they have really bad ADR.
Monster had audio and visual issues. Part of it on purpose because clearly they were freaking out running. But a better story. This one had a trash story, but you could hear and see it usually. Yeah, and part of the thing that they kept on saying is it a ghost or is it a boy sneaking in? And the answer was yes.
Yes.
It's both.
Both of them. Yeah, so
but the family that was murdering him, is that supposed to have been the family that was also haunting the house earlier with the Amityville house? Oh, we also forgot a very important detail. Also in this movie, the boy who likes to record things finds a phone that magically turns on, an iPhone that has the teens, the college students who get in the house earlier, getting it on it in it. He watches this and then has his whole family watch it. Not just his parents, his entire family.
It was great.
Saying stuff like, don't worry, it'll get to the good part soon.
And then there's boobs.
And doggies.
Anyway, yeah, so this movie was not good. I wanted so badly to like it. And it was so bad. It's not Battlefield or Battlestar Wars bad. But it's pretty bad. It's definitely down there. I would never recommend this movie to anybody ever to watch it.
Is it better or worse than Amityville Cursed?
Oh, worse by far.
What about Vampire?
No, I don't. It's hard to beat Amityville Vampire.
I will say Amityville in Space is way better, but to be fair,
I haven't seen that one yet.
That one tried. Amityville Thanksgiving? No. Amityville Karen? Amityville Vibrator? That is a movie.
Have you seen it? Did Steph allow you to watch that?
I turned it on. It was very bad.
I believe it. Yeah, the name Amityville has definitely...
that movie was made because Teeth was successful. Yeah. Teeth was a shocking horror film that was made by actual filmmakers that knew what they were doing. Amityville Vibrator thinks they knew what that made the movie successful, and it was not that.
Yeah, so the moral of the story is that Amityville used to mean something, and now if you see Amityville attached to anything that's not the 1979 Amityville or the sequel to that, Amityville Horror 2, The Possession, or something in that line, or
Ryan Reynolds
remake, it's probably going to suck. Although I did enjoy Amityville Curse, so that is an outlier.
Amityville Thanksgiving is so bad. It has a turkey murdering people.
I will probably watch that for Thanksgiving this year to make a let's talk about that.
Or Thanksgiving.
That's a good one too.
But good is subjective. Good is very subjective. But don't worry, this movie is trash, and so I picked a high quality one, Journey to the Center of the Earth, which came out opposite the Brendan Fraser one, which, if you know me, I do not like that movie at all.
You mostly don't like anything that is a video of a classic literary tale.
Not necessarily.
Right,
I love the James Mason Journey to the Center of the Earth. I own that movie.
Yeah, that's one.
And I own the TV adaptation where they go to New Zealand and fight Maoris and there's raptor people. It has Treat Williams in it. Rest in peace. I've seen a lot of versions of Journey to the Earth. And I'm pretty sure the excellent writer of the Asylum version heard the title of the upcoming movie.
And that's it.
And that's all he knew.
Yep.
Because it is closer to Stargate than it is Journey to the Center of the Earth.
I've been doing my homework.
Has no Groyben.
Jeremiah got me to listen to the audiobook for Journey to the Center of the Earth. I'm about halfway through it. And this movie has literally nothing in common with the book so far. Literally nothing. There's no Groyben.
They don't even try Saknussemm. Like the explorer who gets them to the center of the Earth in general, which even like the TV ones at least try to say, oh, look, it's a Saknussemm this or that. No, they don't even try.
Yeah, no. There's the premise is
they don't even go down into the Earth themselves. Like Journey to the Earth is a journey where they go through a volcano
to the center
and go down to the center of the Earth and explore the tunnels. And there's usually dinosaurs or giant lizards down there, prehistoric creatures. There's a sea down there. This one is a teleporter that teleports a group of all-female soldiers,
special agents
in tank tops, because that's definitely military dress, to the center of the Earth-ish. They're trying to transport them. They're trying to transport them to the other side, to another location in the globe, but it got them stuck in this pocket in the center-ish of the Earth, which looks an awful lot like where they filmed the other dinosaur movie. What was that, 1 million BC or 10 million BC or something like that?
100
million. And it was because they filmed them together. And that looks like California. And they go there, and there's spiders and some dinosaurs.
Yeah.
And these chicks are they're all. I don't know why they picked them. Asylum says they picked them because it's easier to have hot chicks instead of putting males in there. That's Asylum's words. There's one actress I do recognize, though. I forgot her name, but she's the main female character in Resident Alien, the Alan Tudyk show on Sci-Fi, I think it was. Good show. God, she got better work. But this has all the trappings of Asylum, where there's a military that wants people to do things, but apparently they don't care really, because they sent one officer to basically say, try it. Oh, close it down. You all suck. And so they send one officer to do that. They're panicking the entire time, and really all they want is the tech. They don't care about the people. And then for some reason, the rescue attempt is a drill that they're using a laser and gravity to go down to the center of the Earth, because there's no wheels on this thing, and it's just kind of like lasering through the Earth crust and pops out a volcano in the middle of the Earth.
And then it hits a pocket. So because it hits a pocket and it doesn't have wheels, it gets stuck.
It pops out of a center of the Earth volcano.
Yeah, it pops out of the center of the Earth volcano.
That looks an awful lot like our volcanoes when, pieces of the Earth crust hit each other and forces things up. This movie also has a very gratuitous death of a female character. Some characters get killed by dinosaurs, not really very many, and none of it's very fun. There are spiders that chase them, and some people got caught in spider webs. And apparently, spiders laid eggs inside these people, or one of them. And right near the very end, this person's chest just blows out like a chest burster, and spiders come out. And nothing else happens. Like, they don't care. It's just death.
They just keep running. And then the drill people. Yeah, the drill people get to them, leave the drill, and then teleport back. And then everybody makes out, except for the two characters I wanted to make out. And that's about it. That's Journey.
And the military go and get smacked around for not caring about human life, and has nothing to do with the novel. The novel is a classic by Jules Verne, where this professor, a German professor, finds basically a journal of writings of a person who claims to have been to the center of the earth. He deciphers it, and they go to this volcano in Iceland. One of the miniseries has it in New Zealand. They go to this volcano in Iceland where they find these tunnels going down, and there's a lot of science in there that I was probably pretty advanced for its time. They definitely try. This movie doesn't. And going down there, and there's dinosaurs and stuff like that, and they work with magnets, and this movie's trying to capitalize off even Brendan Fraser's version, but Brendan Fraser's version referred to the actual novel,
which you would think would be a good thing to do.
I know this movie says inspired by the book, but I think it's more like inspired by the title of the book.
The book, sort of like World War Z was.
True, though. World War Z they had a better reason for why they did what they did, because in a movie with a narrative, you can't have 30 different mini stories. A TV show could, an anthology could, but a movie you have to have some sort of narrative to follow through, or else it makes it really hard to market. And they did have elements from the book in there. They just had to cut some of them, like Bonkers was at the end. You see one clip of it with the flamethrowers on the side of the building, but that's a better movie, way better movie. Even if you hate the movie, it's way better than both of these combined. It was a bad movie, about as bad as 1 million BC or whatever that movie was called.
100 million BC.
It's like that level, except less fun, because that one is like, oh look, we get to the end and we shoved a dinosaur in a rock.
Yeah.
Because why?
Why not?
I think the person who made it thought it was funny. But that's just kind of cruel.
It was funny.
Not really. It sounded like why are you mean? Both these movies are bad. Don't watch them. But if you want to read the book Journey to the Center of the Earth, I can recommend that one, especially the Tim Curry read. He's good.
I'm getting real tired of the name Groyben, though. I gotta tell you.
Groyben. You're getting near the end, though.
Sacknussen.
But the book is good. Tim Curry does a good read. It's not a very long book. It's a classic for a reason. And I don't know how they could adapt it this badly. But
Tim Curry read is definitely
Asylum found a way.
20,000
Leagues Under the Sea was a better adaptation than this, because at least they got the characters and the general idea of what he was trying to do in a book. I mean, in a story, it just messed up most of it. This one didn't get anything right. Like there's nothing.
But would you rather watch Treasure Island?
Oh, I'd rather watch Treasure Island.
Interesting.
They went bonkers with it. It's so bad. It's so off in like the most bonkers way that I would definitely rather watch that.
That's fair. So yeah, that's our double feature for you guys. Two absolute garbage movies. That's part of the reason it took us forever to do this. So let's go ahead and
because it's hard to get motivated right now.
Yeah, that's
but
fact.
Let's spin this wheel and see if we need to do another double feature or a single feature.
Jeez.
Look how many movies are left on this wheel, and we haven't even done the ones they just added.
It's true.
Because they just announced more. There's another Megalodon movie.
Asylum works hard, you know?
There's another Megalodon movie. And I seem to remember we already watched one of those, or did I purge it from my soul?
We watched Megalodon. It was horrible.
So the second Megalodon movie's out now.
That was the one where they called them the Megalodon left, and then they called it back to kill it instead of just being like, "Oh, we made it."
Well, they made another one because there's another Meg movie out, which we'll get to that one. But the Meg books are pretty good. There's a reason why they sell a few. They've sold like 3 million copies. There's a reason why. And they're like Michael Crichton books. Okay.
I'm hoping for. All right, come on, King Arthur.
Honestly, I'm hoping for a modern warish one because they seem to do better on those than they do or kid movies.
Monster Island. What is this?
If it's going to be Kong Skull Island, this could be bad.
This could be a kids movie. This could be an adult horror film. Who knows?
It's the Monster Squad. Okay, Monster Island came out in 2019.
That's reassuring.
It is to spoof. It is not spoof. It is because of Godzilla, King of the Monsters.
Gigantic monsters threaten to destroy everything in their path as mankind remains defenseless. That's what Just Watch says. Available on
Wikipedia says a team of geologists collaborate with the New Zealand Coast Guard in fighting two kaiju in battle with one another. A giant starfish dubbed Tengu that spawns dragons. What? And a golem-like walking mountain.
What? Say that again.
A giant starfish dubbed Tengu that spawns dragons. And a golem-like walking mountain. It stars Eric Roberts. Clearly, that means quality.
Clearly. Toshi Toda. Anybody else I recognize? Natalie Robbie.
Nope.
Nope. It looks like they got one actor.
You know, when it comes to Eric Roberts, that means quality. He'll give you full effort, especially in fight scenes. Like if you've seen DOA, you know, he just fully committed to those sunglass scenes. I guess we're seeing Monster Island. Where is it available again?
Tubi. It was directed and written by Mark Atkins, who did Six-Headed Shark Attack, Empire of the Sharks, Jurassic School, In the Name of Ben, Planet of the Sharks, Road Wars, which was spectacular. What else has he done that we might have actually seen? Princess of Marge. Princess of Marge.
Mars, not Marge. This is not Princess of Marge.
Haunting of Winchester House. Halloween Night. And Evil Eyes. All absolute classics.
He has stayed employed by them for 20 years.
Evidently.
Well, Monster Island, folks. Watch it on Tubi. You know you want to. You know you do.
You know you do.